Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Peace, love, and positivity to you. My name is Sohum, and today I'm bringing you another triple reaction and lyrical analysis. For each of the songs we're going to check out today, I'm going to try to deep dive into the lyrics to come away with some deeper understanding for y'all. So first up, we're going to check out the song Only Women Bleed by Alice Cooper, then jump into Big Girls Don't Cry by Fergie, and lastly, LA Song by Beth Hart. For some context, we've heard Alice Cooper once before on the channel and Beth Hart a handful of times on the channel, but we've never actually given a reaction to Fergie before. Now, I've listened to several Fergie tracks over the years, a lot of which were in Black Eyed Peas and Fergalicious and a lot of kind of really well-known tracks like that, but I never got around to hearing Big Girls Don't Cry. So this is going to be really fun to visit some of her work today as well. But before we do jump into all of it, a massive thank you goes to Frank the Kind-Hearted for making this generous donation request and the selections for us today. Now, let's jump into it. Oh, there's some strings in the distance.
Man got his woman to take his seat. He got the power, oh, she got the need.
Some bright organ chords there.
She spends her life through pleasing up her man. She feeds him dinner, oh, anything she can.
She's so nice.
She cries alone at night too often.
See,
He smokes and drinks and don't come home at all.
it's like this asymmetric relationship where she is putting in so much work to make him happy, but she's not being emotionally supported at all. He smokes and drinks and doesn't come home at all. He doesn't actually make the union that they have special. So often does this happen in a lot of heteronormative relationships where the man is just being the one served and doesn't care about how his woman is doing. It's a terrible
He
injustice.
smokes and drinks and don't come home at all. Only women bleed.
Yeah.
Only women bleed.
And women in those relationships are suffering.
Only women bleed.
And so often it goes unnoticed too.
Man makes your hair gray.
Stresses
He's your
you out.
life's mistake.
Yeah, right? Stressing you out.
All you're really looking for's an even break. He lies right at you. You know you hate this game.
It's terrible.
Slaps you once in a while and you live in love and pain.
See, and then these guys, they get physically abusive, psychologically abusive, financially abusive, literally all of the possible adverbs you could append to the beginning there and followed by abuse. It's all too common. And I'm glad that I think in the current world we live in, this conversation about domestic violence is happening more and more, especially at the hands of so many problematic men in these hetero relationships. Because there's a certain thing of boiling the frog is what I notice happens a lot, where the relationship starts out in some, let's say, mediocre place, but with time, the guy dials it up more and more and more, and the woman in that relationship may not be noticing, but she's losing more autonomy, losing more identity, giving herself over completely, where she's now running on fumes. The Stockholm syndrome kicks in, and then the toxic love, and that cycle perpetuates. And now that man in the position of power indefinitely holds it over that woman, manipulating her to stay, physically abusing her. It's so awful. I want people to be as aware of these things as possible for their own safety. And if these kind of things are happening to somebody else in your life, now you know why it's gotten to that point, because you don't notice the 1 degree difference. But when you look at what happened where you were 10 years ago versus today, the differences are staggering, and that process is so gradual. It's terrifying.
She once in a while and you live in love and pain. She cries alone at night too often.
It's so sad.
He smokes and drinks and don't come home at all. Only women bleed. Only women bleed. Only women bleed.
Yeah, it's true. So often it's this way. Oh. It's like symphonic here now.
Black eyes all of the time. Don't spend a dime. Clean up this grime. And you there, down on your knees, begging me please come watch me bleed.
Wow, it's like bursting energy. Whoa, that was meteoric, out of nowhere. Oh, and that note got pulled up.
Only women bleed.
Oh wow, that is so
Only
memorable.
women bleed. Only women bleed.
There's the repetition in this message, like
Only women bleed.
people need to recognize
Only women bleed.
that only women bleed. Yeah.
Only women bleed. Only women bleed.
Oh, those notes. Whoa. Whoa. There you have it. Only women bleed. And it's such a bleak state of affairs when you think about how many problematic abusive relationships are out there that form every single day, that continue to get worse and worse with time. It is so sad. I can't believe that so many of these men too, they don't look at their own actions and the impact that they have on their partner, on their families, on the people around them, even themselves, the damage that they're doing psychologically, physically. They don't often consider those ramifications and instead always blame, always shift the focus from their actions to somebody else's actions. I don't get it, because if logically you believe that you can exert control and power over another person and then you do it readily, don't you also have a belief that you can lead with love, lead with empathy, try to change your tack to bring in another voice and be collaborative with them to build a life that is multiplicatively better than instead of being so parasitic to another person? Like, there's a whole spectrum of different relationships and ways you can kind of conceive of them. One such paradigm I've kind of brought up before has to do with independence, codependence, and interdependence. So the idea of independence is, well, you are an individual, you think all the things that you do, you feel the way that you have your certain value system, and your life is separate potentially from the other person you may be dating or in a relationship with. You come together in certain times, but you're more separate than not. Then somewhere in the middle is interdependent. Well, let me explain codependence. Codependence is where you are like locked together. You are in an extreme version of dependence on the other person for your life to move in any certain kind of way. And the satisfaction that you derive from your existence comes from that relationship solely, which oftentimes results in that couple kind of spiraling down together because both of their cumulative baggage is too much for them to kind of handle. Interdependence is, in my opinion, the place that you want to be, where you both are independent thinkers, you have independent lives that when brought together with the other person is made better. Your life is made better. You are adding to each other. You are co-regulating. You are giving each other a reason to go see each other rather than one person parasitically drawing from the other or both of you unconsciously drawing from each other in a way that doesn't refill the other person's, emotional bank account, let's say. This kind of relationship, as we heard from Alice Cooper, is extremely parasitic, is extremely abusive, and doesn't do anybody any favors. And in this specific situation, only women are bleeding, and it needs to be spoken about more. But more importantly than being spoken about, this kind of abuse just needs to happen less. Let's jump into the next track here. This is going to be Fergie, Big Girls Don't Cry. I'll try to analyze these lyrics as we go so we can stick into the video.
One, two, three, four.
Oh. Why was I expecting more of like a rock intro there?
The smell of your skin lingers on me now.
Oh, her voice is gorgeous.
You're probably on your flight back to your hometown.
Oh, listen to that vibrato. You hear it?
I need some shelter of my own protection, baby.
Right.
Be with myself and center.
Right.
Levity,
Find herself.
peace, serenity.
Yeah.
I hope you know.
Oh.
I hope you know.
Wait, this sounds familiar.
This has nothing to do with you. It's personal. Myself and I. We got some straightening out.
Wait, this sounds so familiar.
And I'm gonna miss you like a child misses
Yeah.
that blanket. But I've gotta get a move on with my life. It's time to be
Whoa.
a big girl now. And big girls don't cry.
Wait, I'm absolutely having a brain blast because I have heard that, I guess, pre-chorus, chorus pairing somewhere before. I don't know where specifically, probably TikTok or something like that. But in my mind, that was a melody from Taylor Swift. And now I'm realizing it is not Taylor Swift. It is very clearly Fergie, given where we are now. Wow, because that melody, that da 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 da, that like cadence to that delivery is so memorable to me. But even before that, I hope you know that part. Yeah, that I've heard that chorus before. My mind is kind of blown right now.
A big girl now. And big girls don't cry.
And I was going to say, with the lyrics here, it's very interesting because she is like in the context of this relationship, but she's saying, look, even though I'm with you, I need to be with myself right now to recenter, to figure out what things are important to me, maybe do my own healing. And guess what? It's personal. Myself and I. It doesn't have anything to do with you. Even though you are my partner, the thing that I'm trying to figure out doesn't have to do with you necessarily, even though maybe you're acting in a certain way that's going to cause me to maybe exit the relationship. It more has to do with discovering for myself what is my value system, what are the qualities in a partner that I want for myself. And if you happen to not match those qualities because of what you've shown me and what I believe about myself, then it doesn't have anything to do with you necessarily. It has more to do with what the standards are for me, and how I'm going to uphold them will dictate whether we stay together or not.
Big girl now. And big girls don't cry.
But I guess I would disagree on
Don't
that,
cry.
because big
Don't
girls,
cry.
anyone
Don't
can cry.
cry.
Helps you get through things.
The path that I'm walking,
feel, you know.
I must go alone. I must take the baby steps till I'm full grown.
Yeah, and those baby steps you take to get full grown, I almost believe there's never a moment where you are fully grown. It is just a lifelong process. So just continue to work on yourself and be content and find your own peace.
Till I'm full grown. Fairy tales don't always have a happy ending, do they? And I foresee the dark ahead if I stay.
Wow, I like that. This chorus is so catchy. I love so much, and I'm gonna miss you like a child misses their blanket. Why does a child miss their blanket? Well, that blanket brought them comfort, and so often in our lives when we want to improve them, we stay stuck because we want to stay in that place of comfort. It makes sense to want to stay in that comfortable place, but so much of our growth is found in the discomfort. But that's why it's a child who misses their blanket, because if you are more mature in your growth, maybe you're closer to what an adult, quote unquote, looks like, then you will no longer miss the blanket in the same way, or at least have that unending need for the blanket, even though you're going to still miss the blanket. You know what I mean? You can have both of those at once. You can say, look, this relationship we have, I loved it for what it was, and it is no longer serving me, and it is making my life and potential future a lot harder than I want it to be. So I'm going to cut it off now. I'm going to miss this relationship for what it was, but I have to do the due diligence for myself and move on.
And big girls don't cry like a little schoolmate in the schoolyard. We'll play Jackson, Uno cards. I'll be your best friend and you'll be my Valentine. Yes, you can hold my hand if you want to, 'cause I wanna hold yours too.
Ooh, that run.
We'll be playmates and lovers and share our secret worlds. But it's time for me to go home. It's getting late and dark outside. I need to be with myself and center.
The slowdown. I was not expecting this. How did that happen?
And share our secret worlds. But
Right
it's
there.
time for me to go.
Almost like a halftime.
It's getting late and dark outside. I need to be with myself and center. Clarity, peace, serenity.
Nice. Oh, and the cello. Has that always been there? It was definitely more noticeable at the end. Yeah, I like that song. Super catchy melody. And simple enough lyrics, you know? I mean, as much as we can deep dive into this, I think we mostly got the picture here, but I just wanted to draw all of y'all's attention to a few things that I feel like uh, I can speak on. I guess first and foremost, I think this final lyric, even the name of the song, Big Girls Don't Cry, I would disagree. I feel like it doesn't matter what age you are, crying is very okay. We don't need to shame ourselves for feeling emotions if we're in disagreements, arguments with if we're with ourselves. Crying is just an emotional response. What we don't want to do is weaponize our tears or kind of stay infinitely morose and trapped in our own sadness or even start to romanticize our own tears. Those are some crazier offshoots of what sadness can look like, but we shouldn't, again, shame ourselves for being sad. Big girls, big boys, small boys, it doesn't really matter. We can all cry. We can all grieve the loss of a relationship that we had. Even if it was toxic for us, we can still be sad about it. It's nothing, I feel like there's no conflict. Those things can be quite easily reconciled. Um, I want to go to the main pre-chorus chorus section. So I hope you know this has nothing to do with you. Operative word, nothing to do with you, because it has everything to do with me. Quite honestly, you could be in a relationship with the perfect human ever. They are not a bad person in any of the obvious respects, but that person just may not be for you, right? Maybe you're lacking some matching of values, right? You don't have the same shared values, or you guys just don't have any chemistry. That doesn't mean that person is a bad person or you are a bad person. It just means that we are not compatible with each other. And if I do the inner work and realize, hey, we have these striking incompatibilities that makes it feel like I won't be in my peace with you, even if we are both good people, that is an important, I think, thought process to have, because you can at least recognize that even in, let's say, optimal on the surface situations, things may not work out. So it becomes doubly more obvious when the situation is far more toxic and the other person you're in a relationship with is bringing a lot of baggage and problems to the table. None of us are perfect, and there are levels to this game, of course, but it just needs to be thought about from both perspectives. What is my role in this? What is the other person's role in this? Is it my doing? Is it their doing? What is the dynamic that we've kind of brought together? But part of that dynamic that we've constructed together comes from the personal side. So you have to do that part. If you don't, then you're kind of like in this weird limbo of like, I don't know if I feel like we're compatible because I haven't done the soul searching for myself. And you can kind of exist in this space of like codependence or just relationship uncertainty, which, you know, you can move relationships at different paces, but I feel like the problem comes when you know that there's some kind of friction and it's being swept under the rug. And then, of course, this part here, I'm going to miss you like a child misses their blanket. We spoke about that briefly, but I've got to get a move on with my life. Again, I'm going to miss you. The emotions are being felt. It is real. It is raw. My inner child is being hurt, but moving on now. I'm an adult. I'm going to think for myself. I'm going to act in what I view as the best course of action for me. In this verse here, the path I'm walking, I must go alone. I must take the baby steps till I'm full grown. Fairy tales don't always have a happy ending, do they? And I foresee the dark ahead if I stay. So again, reaffirming that even though we're together, I need to do certain stuff alone, learn about myself alone so that I can bring it to the table if we need to discuss it or if it's going to change our dynamic. And also this recognition that not every single story, not every single pairing of two people is going to work out. We can do our best to make things work out, and sometimes it still won't. And if there is this dark ahead, which, you know, every relationship, every person's life is going to be filled with some darkness, but if there are certain more obvious darknesses that can be avoided because we value ourselves and give ourselves that respect and love, I say lean into what is right for you and avoid it. Yeah, I think mostly we had a lot of repetition throughout this whole track here. This last verse that I wanted to focus on, but it's time for me to go home. It's getting late, dark outside. So going home here, going home to the self, rather than a physical home. I mean, it could be. It is finding the light within. In the face of all the darkness that is outside, now I'm going home. I see the signs, I see the orange and red flags, and I can make it easier on myself and kind of slink away. This is a beautiful song. I really like this one. Let's check out the last track of the day. This one's from Beth Hart. I'm ready for her powerful voice to just end me. And I've mostly seen her live performances, so I'm curious to see this.
Around the boulevard. She's a local girl with local scars. She got home late. She got home late. She drank so hard the bottle ached. And she tried and she tried and she tried and she tried, but
I'm sensing a theme throughout these 3 tracks today.
So she takes and she takes, she takes and she takes. She understands when she gives it away. She says, man, I gotta get out of this town. Man, I gotta
I'm low-key reminded of Alanis Morissette here.
Man, I gotta get out of this town, out of this town. Out of LA.
Out of LA.
She's so ashamed. She's so ashamed.
This is like a pure
She know
ballad.
heaven don't want her anyway. She left a note right by the phone. Don't leave a message, 'cause this ain't no home. And she cried and she cried and she cried and she cried. She cried so long.
I love the repetition in this.
She laughed and she laughed. She laughed and she laughed. 'Cause she knew she was never coming back. She said, man, I'm gonna get out of this town. Man, I'm gonna get out of this pain. Man, I'm gonna
he's
get
stealing.
out of this town. Out of this town. And out of LA.
Y'all will have to let me know like how problematic is LA, because I feel like I've mostly only heard bad sentiment about LA. Like, it's so dirty, there's so much crime, people are just two-faced, and even though this is a place where so many artists and hopefuls congregate to further their futures and create art and be amongst friends, it also just feels like super vulture-esque. This is, of course, from the outside looking in and hearing what you hear from all the tabloids and just what even artists speak on anecdotally. I've always wanted to go to LA to just, visit that city and maybe take in some of the culture and have the experience for myself. But I hear so much negative stuff. I'm almost like, maybe if I was wise enough, I should just steer clear. Nice chords.
She can't be sure just where it ends or where the good life begins. So she took a train.
It gets loud and bright like that, and she pulls it back into the ballad.
She met a man, he took her in, but fed her all the same bullshit again. 'Cause he lied and he lied and he lied and he lied. He lied like a salesman selling flies. So she screamed and she screamed and she screamed and she screamed. It's a different place but the same old thing. It's all I love, it's all I hate.
That gets huge right there. That's what she said.
I can't be sure where it begins or if the good life lies within. So she said, man, I gotta get out of
That's
this
pretty.
town. Yeah, and now I gotta get back on that train. Man, I gotta get out of this town. I'm out of my pain. So I'm going back to LA.
She really wants to leave LA.
Back to LA. Back to LA.
Yeah, that's pretty.
I'm going back to LA.
Oh, and the saint is crying.
To LA.
Ooh. Back to LA. So it's like this whole round trip kind of a story. I'm leaving LA, out of this town, out of LA, but then in the end, I'm out of my pain, so I'm going back to LA. And kind of like the last song where it has nothing to do with the other person in the relationship, it almost has nothing to do with LA. It almost is like an analogy for one's traumas and experiences that they have with any repeated environment or relationship. Because even from the very beginning, we had this discussion of the local scars that she had in this area. So obviously some of the trauma that she's experienced has been in large part due to the environment, due to LA, but those are local scars, right? And going away, going back home and healing from those things, that is the way to not let that place stay with you permanently, because now you're physically removing yourself from that place. And if you ever want to return, you can do so from a position of more power, more understanding, because you know what things caused you those scars to begin with. And you'll know how they'll affect you going forward, or how to kind of avoid situations that bring you back to that same pain. That said, you don't ever have to return to LA. That's also a very valid kind of position to hold. It just depends on what happened, I guess. So she hangs around the boulevard. She's a local girl with local scars, getting home late. She drank so hard the bottle ached. I just love that line right there. And she tried, and she tried, and she tried, but nothing's dear in a bar full of flies. I guess referring to the locals here as flies, almost again like they're kind of all like flies. They hang around corpses, right? They're very annoying. You have to swat them away. They're constantly buzzing and causing a ruckus. So she takes. She understands when she gives it away. So she was herself being parasitic up front, it seems, but understands the position that she had when she started to either lose it or actually be more almost like philanthropic and dole it out herself. But man, I got to get out of this town and out of LA. She's got a gun. She calls the lucky one. She left a note right by the phone. Don't leave no messages, 'cause this ain't no home. This, I don't even know if it almost refers to like self-deletion here, as the gun is a way out of this terrible environment. And clearly she doesn't view it as home. She doesn't want messages at all. She doesn't view this place as a place of stability. So she's there in her sadness. She cried so long her tears ran dry, then she laughed. This kind of flip on emotions. You got so sad that you started laughing at your own pain and circumstance, because she knew she was never coming back. No longer will this place have the power over her, because it brought her down to this rock bottom, this almost like suicidal place, and it's enough is enough. I got to get out of this town. It's all she loves, it's all she hates, it's all too much for her to take. She can't be sure just where it ends or where the good life begins. This to me is like, man, life is so filled with uncertainty. It almost feels like a path you could take that deviates away from your current circumstances would always be suboptimal, because where I'm at right now, it's kind of the known devil. But you need to sort of take those leaps of faith in life to figure out what is actually best for you. And hopefully with your intelligence and the wisdom of others and loving others around you, you can bring yourself to a place that is for you. But a lot of it too requires experience and discovery. So you take the scars as they come. So she took a train to a little old town without a name. She met a man, he took her in, then fed her all the same BS again. Because he lied. And guess what? The further she the more she ran away from LA, it's almost like the closer she got to LA, because she didn't actually escape the core problem, which may be the way she values herself or engages with the world or allows others who are problematic to affect her life in a tangible way. It could be a number of things. Like so often people's own self-beliefs, those patterns end up repeating in different environments. Even if you left LA, you could still find the same problematic situation in, Wichita, Kansas or something. He lied like a salesman selling flies. So she screamed. It's a different place, but the same old thing. That's why it's like she realized it wasn't actually LA. I mean, it might be. There's some scars, yeah, that are local and that are going to be there, but it seems like problematic people are everywhere, and it's about how I treat myself that needs to be different. It's all I love. It's all I hate. It's all too much for me to take. I can't be sure where it can't be sure where it beings or if the good life lies within. I think this begins here. So she said, man, I got to get out of this town. Got to get back on that train, get out of this town. I'm out of my pain. So I'm going back to LA. And that's a sort of really nice conclusion to that track, because she's recognizing that it's not about the towns per se, though it could be on some more, let's say like town-specific effect scale, but it's about what she's bringing to the table, how she's being impacted by similar circumstances that are present in both environments. So I'm out of my pain. I recognize the folly of my ways and how things impacted me, and I can go back even into the fire and learn, use my experience now, and leverage myself into a better position. Yeah, I mean, like sometimes as simple as it sounds, it's still hard, because the thing you need to do is probably just the thing that's right in front of you. Escaping from that thing, it's almost like an easier, like, I don't even know how to say this part. Sometimes like the simplest things that we know we need to do are hardest for us to stomach and to go through, so we end up trying to escape in the various ways possible. And we realized through our escape that no, we didn't escape from anything. We just brought our own baggage to wherever else, and we found other problematic situations. But I may be the common denominator. So if I'm going to truly heal, I better be able to do it in any environment. That said, you're never going to be able to avoid painful experiences. All we can do is control our response to them, so that hopefully we can learn and move on. But yeah, these were 3 very lovely songs. I could sense a theme overall about self-actualization and learning what the self needs and wants, whether it's in the context of a relationship or our environments, or even the relationship we have with ourselves. It is a lifelong journey, baby steps, as Fergie put it, but that growth will help you in every relationship, every environment, because you yourself have leveled up. But that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the reaction. If you did and want to request one yourself, please hit the first link in the description box below. But as always, my friends, have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care and peace.